Quiet on set, Rue. Even little tiny dogs like you who look like my stuffed animals. Greetings, loved ones, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a big sis advice type of video, chatting about my fitness journey, what I wish I knew about how my body would change in my mid-20s, and just where I'm at right now with all things relating to physical health. I'm going to answer your questions in this as well, and I'll also link below in the description some body confidence videos that I've made in the past, because this is just a topic that I love to talk about as it's relevant to everyone. We all have bodies. We all have thoughts about them. If you watch my vlogs, you see me going to the gym and talking about my workouts a lot. So I just figured I would make this a one-stop shop kind of a video, sharing all the details of my current workout routine because I've added in some new elements like weightlifting. I know. Muscle mommy alert. Sheesh. I've also been using a fitness coach app called Copilot, which I'll chat more about in a bit, but let's just say that I've entered my personal trainer era and it's been wonderful. It's important to talk about how I was even able to get here though, because it's been a journey, y'all. So let me start off by saying that I have tried many different workouts over the course of the past 3 years or so, because I only started consistently working out in early 2020. Don't get me wrong, it hasn't always been dedication nation since then. I've definitely had periods where I've stopped working out for weeks at a time, but I've always found my way back. And I truly believe what kept me interested is just focusing on joyful movement rather than weight-related goals. If you are even remotely interested in starting to work out, all that I can say is just focus on whatever exercise makes you truly happy, because movement should not be punishment. I started my own fitness journey with at-home HIIT workouts, then I added in rock climbing, then I fell madly in love with Zumba and started to do only that. Then after we moved to Virginia, I started to do a lovely little mix of cardio and strength training, both at home and at the gym. My current schedule is 6 days on, 1 day off. So I work out in the mornings, Monday through Saturday, and rest on Sundays. And honestly, I never thought I'd get to the place where I'd have the strength, stamina, or discipline to stick to a schedule like this, but by golly, I'm doing it and I'm loving it, okay? And I'm sure you guys can tell, like, the way that I talk about it too, especially in my vlogs and just all of my fitness related tangents that I go on. It's like, all right, we get it. All of these workouts genuinely make me so happy and exercise different parts of my body, so it's actually been a consistent and diverse routine that I've been sticking to, which is awesome as someone who used to switch it up a ton. One of my biggest fitness goals for this year though was to focus more on strengthening my arms and my core, because I already do a lot of leg and cardio exercises. So when I started using Copilot, that was exactly what I told my coach. Copilot is an affordable fitness coach app that provides personalized workouts tailored to your goals, schedule, and the equipment available to you. I really think one of the best ways to help you reach your fitness goals is to have someone in your life who you can rely on for accountability, support, and motivation. So while it's really helpful that my coach Erin is a trained fitness expert, she's also just a real person. She listens to my needs, factors in what I get from my other workouts, and adapts exercises specifically tailored to what I want more of. I can tell her if something was too easy, too hard, if it hurt anywhere, etc., and she'll make adjustments. I also love that their app pairs to my Apple Watch so she can monitor my range of motion and even pop in to tell me tips on how to make the exercise more beneficial.
Up next is 45 seconds to your exit vertical row.
You can still use the app even if you don't have an Apple Watch though. Also, another little backstory in my fitness journey is that before using Copilot, I pretty much swore off the weight section of my gym, because outside of attending classes, I just had a lot of gym anxiety, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate to. I don't know why. I think I was just worried that I would walk over to the weight rack and look like a total idiot, but I told Erin that and she reminded me that women are allowed to take up space in the gym and encouraged me to break through that barrier. So now I walk into the weight room, no problem. And I just focus on my exercises that she gave me for the day. And I definitely feel more comfortable knowing that I can message her on the app to ask questions or check my form. Having a coach also helps me remember that health isn't just about working out, it's about creating good habits with your sleep, eating, and just your overall lifestyle. Speaking of good habits, over 75% of Copilot users continue to work out after 100 days, which means their clients are 9 times more successful at sticking to their goals. They were also named one of the best personal trainer apps of 2022 by Forbes. we have to stand. So if you're working towards your own fitness goals and want some support in doing so, click the link in my description to get 14 days free with your own expert fitness and health coach. It's free, baby. What do you have to lose? If you were listening to me say all of that, but you were like, well, that's nice and all, but how do I even get there? Then boy, do I have answers for you. Because the #1 question that you guys sent me in on Instagram was just like all about motivation. Cece asked, how to get motivated. I want to start healthier habits, but it's just so fun being a loaf. And then Abigail said, how to get out of bed and go? That's my biggest struggle. The gym part is easy for me. And then Rosemary said, how do you stay motivated? How do you refrain from feeling guilt if you miss a day or multiple days? So let me kind of bunch all these questions together and answer them all at once. So y'all heard me talk about having an accountability partner. It's really nice when it comes to having like a gym buddy or friend, you know, whether it's your partner or just a family member even as well that you could go to the gym with. But at the same time, if you don't have somebody like that in your life and you're not using, you know, a fitness coach app like Copilot, because my coach is fire and she's a great accountability partner. If she sees I haven't done my workout for the day, she'll message me and be like, so stoked to see your stats on your workout later. And I'm like, yep, I'm getting there, girl. But I think a part of this that probably you don't want to hear is that I'm just a different person than you. Like, I'm a very disciplined person in my routine. I love having structure and having those 6 days out of my week to be like, I'm going to the gym on these days, and then I'll be doing my home workouts on these days. And like having that in the morning is what, jumpstarts my day, and I love it. So to answer Rosemary's question on like if I miss a day or multiple days, if I feel guilty, I don't, because I know I'm just going to get back into the routine either way because my body craves it and is used to it at this point. But I can say all of that and you're still sitting here like, but I don't have a routine, Megan. I don't know how to start having a routine and I can't even get off the couch or out of bed to get to the gym and go do it, you know, or like get my workout equipment out at home and do a home workout. Like, it's really hard to just lock your phone, put it away, you know, close your laptop, turn off the TV and be like, I'm doing it, okay? I totally get that. There are plenty of times when I maybe just had a bad night of sleep the night before, and then when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, really have to go? 9 a.m. gym. All right, yeah. No, I can do it. And something that I actually heard today in a podcast I was listening to was actually a quote from Matthew McConaughey. And he said, you'll feel better about that than you will sleeping or skipping or doing something else. You will feel better once you did the thing of going to the gym. So you really just have to remind yourself that, like, I will feel so much better once I get there. And right now it's hard to get off the couch or do whatever, but once I put on my cute little workout outfit and get my shoes on, I'll be like, oh, okay, ready to go. And when I'm driving to the gym, I'm listening to my like pump up playlist. I'm like, whew, okay, it's all coming back now. And everybody's motivational practices are different, but I think just having structure and routine or trying to work towards that is really what ends up motivating me, because I'm like, well, this is just what I do on Tuesdays. So yeah. Rosemary also asked about sports bra recommendations for big chested people. And boy, do I have the one for you, because I just found my holy grail sports bra. And I think it's called like the high neck bra from Girlfriend Collective, and it's like a T crossback and then it clasps at the back, and it does have cups in it for extra support, which you can just cut out if you don't want the cups in there. And my favorite feature about it is that it's the high neck, like I mentioned. So when you have the sleeve and you're wearing more of a scoop neck, then something can pop out and you don't want anything to pop out when you're at the gym. You know, you bent over doing your butterflies and you're like, no, not this, not now. So I really, really like these ones. I have 2 colors and I want more of them. So I'll find them and link them down below. Sammy asked, do you count calories or macros? And I actually got a lot of like food related questions. So I would say that no, I don't actually count either of these, but I do kind of aim for a calorie deficit, but I don't know. If I'm not counting them, I actually don't know how many calories I'm getting in a day. I just kind of am like, oh, this is my, I was talking about this in my 26 lessons I learned at 26/closet cleanout video that I put up a couple weeks ago. I have a routine with my eating. I don't restrict my eating. So I'm not like filling out a chart being like, okay, I've intook this much of protein or calories today, but I do try to just implement more protein into my diet and not overeat or over snack if I can help myself to not do that. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be like, no, I can't have ice cream tonight. No, I can't go and do, you know, a date night out because I'm afraid I'll order too much. Like, I'm just not in the way of restricting my eating. That is so out for 2023 for me, okay? I don't want any rules on what I am or am not allowing myself. I just don't consider food morally good or bad in any way. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something that I have the thought cross my mind about when I put things in my body. I'm just like, this tastes delicious. The next question comes from James, and they asked, tips to figure out a fitness routine in a new place. I'm moving countries and continents. Slay. Not just because they're the sponsor of this video, but I would really recommend using a fitness app like Copilot, because fitness apps are just a way to go, man, honestly. And especially with Copilot, you can just tell your coach like, hey, I'm moving. I don't have access to a big gym with, you know, all of these various weights and all these different machines, and I just don't have that. So can you make me a routine to do a couple times a week that just uses my body weight? And they'll be like, sure, of course I can do that, because they're just tailoring all of the things to your needs. So that would obviously be my #1 recommendation, because it's just super flexible. But also you could just do walks or runs, you know, get yourself out there, out on the town, seeing the new country and continent that you're living on. So just getting more out into nature and doing, I don't know, maybe some jumping jacks, rolling around in the yard. I don't know where you're gonna be. Maybe you don't have a yard, so it just really depends on what you have at hand. And convenience is key. Convenience is king, actually. So just do things that are most convenient to your lifestyle when you move. And you don't have to like jump right into it when you move either. Like when I moved to Virginia, I didn't find the gym that I'm currently going to until probably like a full month in or something. And I was just kind of shopping myself around and getting the vibe of certain places, because that's really important too, is to like pay attention to the energy around you. Because I almost went to a completely different gym and got a membership there, and the vibe is completely different than what I am around now. Like my new gym is super diverse, super iconic. Everybody's so nice. So I just love that, you know? And the other gym is kind of like more expensive, a little more exclusive kind of feeling. So I'm glad that I went with the cheaper option. So just kind of survey the scene, shop around a little bit. And in the meantime, just move your bod and get out around town. Grace asked, how do you make fitness a focal part of your life without focusing on weight loss / gain? I love this question. And a couple of people asked similar questions to this about like not focusing on diet culture, but still wanting to make fitness a huge part of their life. Because trust me, man, I know it can be hard, okay? I've made a lot of videos about this kind of topic in the past, about falling into unhealthy patterns and knowing and calling that out in your own psyche, being like, this is not a healthy thing for me to do. Like why I don't count calories and why I don't count my macros and keep track of all that stuff is because I know that it's not a healthy choice for me personally, at least right now. Like that could change. In a previous video that I rewatched actually recently, in one of my body confidence videos, I was talking about how I just can't sustain working out 6 days a week because it just wasn't healthy for me. It was obsessive. And now I'm like, I don't feel obsessed at all. I just feel like, no, this is just what I do and I can sustain it and it's nice. And I just feel like that's growth, you know, not like, oh, I'm obsessed and I don't know it, because I'm not hard on myself if I miss a couple of days, you know? So I think just really not honing in on like the negative aspects of fitness culture, because, you know, when I go on Instagram sometimes, like if I look at a gym page or a fitness inspo kind of a page, then my entire explore page is like just all of this crazy stuff. And I'm like, how did we get here? Algorithm, you know? And I do see some of that stuff where it's like unhealthy rhetoric that's popping up on my page. And I just swipe past it. I don't pay attention to it. I'm like, I know it works for me. I know I like my routine. I have my favorite foods. And at the end of the day, what I really want to drive home for you guys is that you need to focus on how you feel rather than how you look. And that is really what keeps me consistent in my routine, is just focusing on like my end goal being just feeling good and feeling better and having a long, healthy, happy life. Not being like a certain size or focusing on a certain number on the scale. I'm not gonna do that to myself just because I love myself too much to do that. I don't want to put any blame or shame or size on myself to be like, you need to fit this mold. It's just not gonna work. And it's not gonna be sustainable at the end of the day. So just focus on that. The goal is feeling good, okay? The goal is not being a size blank. And that's seriously what I love so much about my co-pilot coach too, Erin. I'm like, ooh, we love women, lifting up women. She's just like, I'm so proud of you. You're doing so good. Look at you, you're so active. She won't be like saying, you know, toxic language. So I'm just really glad that Co-Pilot is not a numbers or weight focused app, because sometimes it's like, whew, these things I be seeing online, you know, it can get a little bit too much. So I appreciate you guys sending in questions like that, because it's really good to check yourself before you wreck yourself and then you fall off completely because you just get too in your head. Next question comes from Sydney, and they asked, do you use pre-workout or any supplements to enhance those gains? If so, what are your faves? And I only take protein from Truvani. It's like the vanilla flavor. It's delicious, really good and not chalky tasting. I'll link the recipe that I use down below for my protein shakes, because I drink one every single time I work out, and sometimes even on my rest days, just because they're so delicious and nutritious. I love them. Sorry, Miranda Sings just jumps out sometimes. Anyways, I don't take any pre-workout. I have been thinking about it recently because I do have some from Alani Nutrition, and I'm like, I'm kind of scared of it, honestly, because I've never tried something like that. And I know like a lot of the gym girlies are into it, and I'm like, am I that kind of gym girly? Should I try it? Should I just see? And I think maybe I'll start with like a quarter or a half scoop and just see where it goes from there. But I already have my black coffee in the morning, so that's like my caffeine, and that's my pre-workout right now. And somebody commented on one of my vlogs recently and was like, I love that you use black coffee as a pre-workout, because I do the same and I feel like nobody ever does it. And I'm like, slay. Love that for us. But yeah, I do kind of want to just try the pre-workout life and see if it's the right life for me. Gina asked, any tips for girlies who are scared of the gym? I know I mentioned this when I was talking about my coach Erin being like, you can do it, Megan. Please go over to the weight rack and take up space. That was my gym anxiety, was the weight rack and just the weight room in general, and not knowing how to like change the cords on the machines and get my right amount of weight. And I was scared of the men being around me, and I just have a lot of like internal dialogue about men and if they're gonna approach me and say something weird. But at the end of the day, really what you need to remember is that everybody goes to the gym and is focusing on themselves. That's what brought them there, you know, to just be a happier, healthier person. They're there and are just in their own world with their headphones on, or they're using a fitness app on their phone like I do. When I'm on Co-Pilot, I'm like, don't look or talk to me, okay? I'm messaging my coach. And I can like take videos of myself and send them to her on my form. And I'm like, yeah, you guys see me over here? I'm talking to my personal trainer. So what? But no, really, it makes me feel more comfortable having that. And I think that gym anxiety is super, super common for people. I got a lot of questions actually about classes, like how I got over the hump of going to group classes. And I was like, honestly, I like the social aspect. I work from home. I want to see people at the gym, at least around me, in my kind of general vicinity. Sometimes I won't be in the mood to talk or interact, especially with the men. But for the most part, I'm like a social girly, but I get that not everybody is like that, and they have anxiety around like being in more social kind of group workout scenarios. So in that case, I would recommend, you know, going to the gym and doing your own thing. You don't have to follow any kind of a repertoire or routine. You can just kind of be like, I want to see what this machine does to my body. Oh, okay. It's like I'm skiing, but I also am running at the same time. I'm talking about the elliptical, clearly. Really big gym girly over here. Can you tell I don't really use the machines? But really, you just need to kind of get over the hump and get yourself there. And then once you're there, you're like, okay, I'm in my own world and I have my headphones and I can play my own music and my own workout playlist and pump myself up. And just don't think about everyone else, because everybody else is just thinking about themselves. That's really all I can say. It's gonna be okay. The last question comes from Carrie, and they asked, "Hi Megan, what are your favorite home workouts to do? I'm looking for new inspo." I love an ab-focused workout. So I actually love mountain climbers. I know that mountain climbers can kind of be the death of some people. They don't like them at all, but I feel like mountain climbers will focus on my stability in my arms and really engage my core and get my heart rate up. Love that for me. So I really love those. And then I do a lot of core work when I'm working out from home, just because I have that ingrained in my brain from being in dance classes from ages 3 to 17, because we would do so much of that during our warm-up. So we would do like candlesticks, you know, we call them candlesticks, but really I think they're called reverse crunches. I don't need to show you it on my bed right now. I just realized I did them in my home workout today. So I'll show you what I mean. But you can also do candlesticks too, where you like lift your butt off of the ground during that exercise, and that will really engage your core. I love those. And hey, I've never been one to deny a good squat. Nobody will ever say that about me. She loved a good squat is what they'll tell you. Those were really the main questions that I got. I wanted this video to focus way more on just my actual fitness and workouts rather than my body or my image of my body or my little nitpicky things about what I think about it. But I did want to mention, just because I know a lot of you can relate to this, that now that I'm in my mid-20s, I'm 26, I've noticed a lot more just like action happening around my stomach, you know, just my stomach looking different, my skin folding in certain areas, just a little jiggle here and a little jangle there, you know? But those types of things are going to happen when you are maturing out of having a teenage body or even an early 20s body. Like my body at 20 looked drastically different than I do now at 26. And that's just something that you need to just reach a conclusion with. You're like, okay, this is just happening. That's the conclusion, is that this is happening. And we can just do things to move our bodies and have them feel happier and healthier, but we don't need to work and focus on exactly what I looked like at 20 is what I need to look like now at 26. Like, you don't need to do that. We're not gonna before and after ourselves, all right? That's not what we're gonna do. And don't get me wrong, I think that fitness goals are wonderful, and whatever your fitness goals are, I want you to be able to meet them. But for me, I want my fitness goal just to be feeling good and not having a fitness goal be like, I need to lose X amount of weight. It's just never gonna be a good thing for me to go into the gym thinking that, or get on my mat at home thinking that. And I've just taken that as my one learning lesson from these past few years of consistently working out. Like, now I know what works and I know what my body likes to do. And through starting your own fitness journey, you'll also find out what your body likes to do. So I just wanted to give you guys that reminder that your body is going to grow and change because you are a human who changes. And that's just what it's gonna do. So just move your body and feel good doing it. And I wish you the best of luck on that journey. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about basically my workout routine for an entire video. I just really wanted to make this because I do get a lot of questions, especially on the vlogs, when I talk about going to the gym or leaving the gym or what my home workout is for the day or all those types of things. So I hope I covered all of the bases. If you have any more questions, you can leave them down below, and don't forget to check out Copilot in the description box. They freaking rock, dude. Thank you, Copilot, for sponsoring this video. I love y'all. Thanks so much for watching, and I will just see you in my next one. But when I'm not on here, you can find me on Twitch or on Patreon. And until then, I guess I'll just see you on my Instagram stories or something. All right, love ya. Stay smiling. Bye, y'all.